So we don't have any complex poles and complex zeros. So that's why we don't have any angle of departures and angle of arrivals for this given open loop system. Right. So coming to the step 6, in order to determine the crossing point as well as the k value, crossing point on the imaginary axis determines the omega value, and k value determines the maximum limit for stability. So we have to calculate for those two values. For that, we need to take the characteristic equation. From step 4, we know this characteristic equation, right? From step 4, the characteristic equation is s cube plus 6s square plus 8s plus k. So use that equation. Now, in the place of s, we need to substitute s is equal to j omega. Substitute this s is equal to j omega and simplify, you'll get this type of equation. Now, equate j terms to 0. Take j terms common and equate it to 0, which means imaginary part to 0 as well as the real parts equal to 0. So with the help of imaginary parts, if we simplify and if we cancel out this j and if we simplify for omega, we will get omega value as plus or minus 2.8. So this will be the crossing point of our root locus on the imaginary axis. Omega determines the crossing point of the imaginary axis, which is plus or minus 2.8. And for calculating the value of k, we need to equate the real values to 0, and then we will get the, we know the k is 6 omega square, we know the omega value, substitute here and you will get the k value as 48. So 48 is the maximum limit of k in order to get the stability. After 48, the system will become unstable. So till this step, it is same as we have seen in the previous problem also. Then we can draw the root locus, but what he asked is find the value of k so that the damping ratio of the closed loop system is 0.5. So for 0.5 damping ratio, we need to obtain the value of k. So that step we need to do. Before that, we will see the root locus. How can we plot the root locus? So up to step 4, which is marking the breakaway point is done. Marking of breakaway point is done. Here we have marked. Generally, the root locus on the y-axis can be drawn if we are having angle of asymptotes or angle of departure. Angle of arrival and angle of departure. But here we don't have angle of arrival and angle of departure here, step 5. But with the angle of asymptotes, how we can draw? We have a breakaway point here. So at the breakaway point, we have to draw the root locus which is crossing at 2.8 j on the positive side. Similarly, on the negative side also minus 2.8 j. So from this breakaway point, draw this root locus, and this root locus has to be very symmetrical for this angle of asymptotes. So based on this angle of asymptotes and by the help of a breakaway point, we have to draw the root locus. So this root locus curve can be drawn, and this curve you can draw with the free hand, and you can extend this curve till minus infinity here, plus and minus infinities on the imaginary axis. And this curve has to be symmetrical to this angle of asymptotes line. Okay, and it has to cross at breakaway point on the real axis. On the imaginary axis, we have calculated omega values, right, which is plus 2.8 j and minus 2.8 j. So like this, we have to draw the root locus on the imaginary axis. So these are to step 5. Right, and we need to calculate the value of k for z equal to 0.5. So there is a procedure to determine the value of k. We have to calculate the lengths of vectors. So the lengths of vectors can be determined from the root locus graph. By use of phone, we calculate the value of it. Then we know the zeta as 0.5. So we have to calculate an angle alpha, which is cos inverse of zeta. We know zeta. So this angle is useful to determine the value of k here. So we have to calculate this alpha. Alpha is equal to cos inverse zeta. Now zeta is 0.5. Substitute zeta as 0.5. We will get alpha as 60 degree. Now what we have to do? We got the alpha angle as 60 degree. Now what should we do is we have to draw a line with an angle alpha from the negative real axis. So this is negative real axis and this is the origin. Take your protractor and keep your protractor here and from the negative real axis. So this is our base. From this base we have to take 60 degree clockwise direction. So 60 degree clockwise direction we will get here, this point. Mark this point and take scale and draw this line. Take scale and draw this line. Okay. So and name this point as P. So O and P, we have drawn a line. O and P. This OP crosses or meets our root locus at a point. And this point is called SD, S suffix D point. SD point. Okay. So mark this point and take scale and measure the distance between pole 1 to SD. That will be our length 1. Pole 2 to SD. Take scale, measure how many centimeters are there. That is length 2. From pole 3 we will get a length 3. So please scale here and check the number of centimeters between pole 3 to SD. So L1, L2 and L3 are less between the pole and this SD point. Okay. Here in this graph sheet, the scale has taken as 0.5 units per 1 centimeter. That means one box is 0.5. He took one box is 0.5. But in our graph sheet, we can take box as 1 centimeter. Then we'll get directly 1.3, 1.7, 3.5 units. If you take scale as 1 centimeter to 1 unit, means each box is 1, 2, 3 like that. Then we will get 1.3, 1.75, 3.5 centimeters on the graph. If you measure with the scale, you will get approximately. Some people may get 1.2 centimeters instead of 1.3. Some people may get 0.8 or 1.7 centimeters for this value. For this value also a slight change. Approximate values will be 1.3, 1.75 and 3.5 units. Okay, so L1, L2 and L3. Here he has taken 0.5 units for 1 centimeter. That's why L1, L2, L3 lengths are multiplied to 0.5. Why these? The problem in this problem the graph is multiplied by 0.5 is here he has taken as 0.5 units. You can see 2 boxes as 1 unit he has considered. That's why he multiplied with 0.5. Don't worry about this 0.5. If you take the scale 1 unit as 1, 2, 3 like that, directly you'll get 1.3, 1.7 and 3.5. Now multiply these 3 here, because to calculate the k value, multiply these 3, you will get the k value is approximately 8. The k value is approximately 8. That means for this zeta 0.5, the k value is approximately 8. So this is how we can determine the k value for the given zeta based on the root locus graph. Okay. Thank you.